Are you a business owner frustrated by Yelp's review recommendations? Well, you're not alone. Hey everyone, my name is Trevor. I am owner of 10 Cow Media, and as Yelp advertising partners with 25 years combined experience, our reps are experts at maximizing business return on Yelp across all verticals. And let's get to the reason why you're here. It's because you understand the power that Yelp can have on your business and know the importance in the content showing on your page. And many businesses wonder why some reviews show up while others don't. So let's break it down for you. Yelp has two customers, the business owners like yourselves, and the users that make up its community. Now, the reason why Yelp is so trusted among their community and those referred to it are because they actively try to emphasize a smaller selection of reviews than other sites in an effort to keep the focus on the most helpful and reliable content, in their opinion, from their core community for consumers to be able to make these very important purchasing decisions, like buying a new water heater or getting a new AC unit installed or repaired. Now, because they do this, this can rightfully frustrate hardworking owners like yourselves who know that these wonderful and loyal clients are just sharing their positive feedback truly from the heart. But here's the thing. Yelp gets millions of reviews from consumers every single month, including millions more from fake accounts from these new companies that have popped up that sell these, fake review services. So the job of the recommendation software has become more important than ever, and it tries to showcase the reviews that best reflect the opinions of their community. They do so by using automated software developed and periodically updated by their head engineers. And this software, it looks at dozens of different signals, including various measures of quality, reliability, and activity of the user writing the review on Yelp. That's right. It is the user who is needing to meet these qualifications if they want to get recommended to other people spending their money on Yelp. Now, as for which signals are used and how much weight is placed on them, well, that's a guessing game. What I can tell you is what I've seen firsthand from my decade with the company, and that is that the same rules and logic were applied to all reviews and businesses, the same regardless of whether they advertised or not, even at times costing Yelp money from advertisers who were upset that their reviews were getting not recommended. Now, the biggest problem from my own experience and what I've heard from others is the data that they show on the front end, like how many friends somebody has or how many reviews they've written, actually aren't really factoring into the equation. So as you can imagine, that's confusing because you on your end are seeing, oh, this person with one review got recommended, but this one didn't, and vice versa. And yeah, that leads to all sorts of confusion because you're now believing maybe, customers have to write more reviews or set up their profile better when it's simply not the case. And if that were, it would be pretty easy to work around and kind of defeat its purpose. Now, to help you better understand, we're going to take a moment to think about how you take recommendations in real life, because that's what essentially this system is trying to mimic. If a close friend, someone you know, like a neighbor, suggests a plumber, lawyer, or even a restaurant for date night, you're more likely to trust them than just some random person that knocks on your door or that you run into the street and whatnot. And like I said, their system tries to mimic this, kind of being like that Ring doorbell, so that way you can see who's out the door and know how, you know, much you want to trust what they're going to have to say before you talk to them. So the software tries to highlight reviews from real, engaged users, just like you'd prioritize, again, advice from someone you'd trust in real life and not let that neighbor you've maybe run into twice while walking the dog watch your house while you're gone for the weekend. And this may lead you to think that it means they are also saying your customers aren't good enough. Completely understandable that you would feel that way, but it really isn't the case. Since the goal is to showcase reviews that reflect the opinions of the Yelp community, it often isn't a matter of them not being good enough, but rather the software not knowing much about that user, and therefore they can't recommend them and their review right now. At the end of the day, the exact details of what the software is looking for are not made public, and here's why. Think of it like calling up Coca-Cola, In-N-Out, Buffalo Wild Wings, and asking for their secret recipes or sauces. It's it's a little absurd. It's what makes them who they are. And it's intentional that there aren't easily identifiable patterns as to what gets recommended and what is not. And again, not a matter of whether it is a legitimate or a fake review. They have a different system, which we'll cover in another, video. What it often is with the not recommendation system is that Yelp just doesn't know enough information to stand behind certain reviewers and recommend them to the Yelp community. Now, the benefit of this is that at any point, once a user meets the necessary criteria, their review will automatically get moved up into the recommended section. This happens thousands of times every month as their system gets acquainted with these newer or less frequently visiting community members. It is also important to notate that all reviews, when posted, go into the recommended section until they can get run through the system. Reason being, Yelp used to be a lot smaller, but now they operate in over 40 different countries. So, as you can imagine, that means hundreds of millions of reviews to sort through and millions of new ones every single month. So, the software usually runs every week to 2 weeks, depending on your region. So, at that time, any reviews that had been left get run through. Those that don't qualify get dropped back down, just to clarify. And again, leaving it at this system is nowhere near perfect by Yelp's own admission, though they are, very defensive of that. Their head engineers do ensure this process remains automated to reduce any human bias. So you can tell a Yelp rep, no, all day, don't call me. They cannot do anything to affect your system at Yelp. And the algorithm also applies the same analysis again, regardless of whether they're advertising or not. The signals it's looking at are also being constantly reevaluated by these engineers and updated with any changes being applied site wide. In fact, actually, I was there on a few occasions in the past where major updates were made to this process, and it caused absolute mass hysteria. Hundreds of business owners calling in on our inbound line every day because tens of millions of reviews suddenly went from recommended to not overnight. And yeah, how else are you supposed to react? The benefit of Yelp's system is that, unlike Google and TripAdvisor, which we also work with, they do suppress some reviews too, but in Yelp's case, they make these reviews accessible for any user that wants to hear what other clients have to say about your business. They simply scroll down below your recommended reviews, and there's a spot here where they can see the not recommended and read what others have to say. The ones you want to look out for are for violating terms of service. That's like a business owner writing their own five-star review for themselves or their employees doing the same thing. Obviously, not the case for good business owners like yourselves. Yelp's goal isn't to hurt businesses, but to ensure that reviews are coming from active users, not bots, one-time reviewers, or accounts with questionable activity, like they're logging in at the same location as a business every single day. That's not, normal behavior. But that does also mean that some real reviews might not get recommended. It doesn't mean that your business can't thrive on Yelp or you can't continue to make lots of money off Yelp while hating their system at the exact same time. That's how many of the advertisers are. So if you do run a great business, do not let this hold you back. Customers are utilizing Yelp more than ever, especially after seeing some of their favorite local businesses have to shutter after COVID. And thanks again to this software, Yelp remains one of the most powerful and trusted platforms amongst these prospective consumers when they are looking to find and spend money with local businesses in the area they live or places that they're traveling to. That's where 10 Cal Media comes in. Again, as a trusted Yelp advertising partner, we're here to help businesses like yours maximize their presence on Yelp, turning these views into revenue. So do not let this confusion keep you from growing. Yelp isn't just about reviews, it's about visibility, reputation, and revenue. Contact us today to discuss the tools available to drive you more leads and revenue and start making Yelp work for you.